And I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't seen nobody make money on Big Meech night except the people that we danced and maybe like 3 other girls. Everybody else was posted up, looking sick, stressed, and disappointed. And I'm sitting there like, damn, at this point, like, y'all might as well become content creators because it's less energy, less wear and tear, and a cheaper startup. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, everybody? This is the world famous Ed Lover, and you are watching Forgotten Kings TV. That's right, Forgotten Kings TV. Come on, son.
Uh-oh. Moments ago, 50 Cent reacts to the Big Meech controversy. That's right, y'all. Now, for those who may not know, recently, Big Meech had an event at his nightclub in Miami. Okay, some people were calling this the official welcome home party for Big Meech. All right, now remember, last year, Big Meech was supposed to have a welcome home concert. For whatever reason, at the last minute, it was canceled. All right, a lot of people on social media speculated that 50 had something to do with it because around that time, 50 had parted ways with Big Meech, his son, and BMF altogether after Big Meech was seen hanging out with Rick Ross. Okay, since then, 50 has been clowning Big Meech and his son every chance he gets. All right, now recently, some women who were hired to work at this welcome home party for Big Meech at his nightclub apparently are upset. All right, they took to social media to call out Big Meech for the lack of money made at this party. All right, now I went and did some research and found y'all some footage from this night, and as you can see, everyone was enjoying themselves. All right, now again, I get it. You know, compared to some of the old stories from back in the day when BMF was, you know, throwing millions in the club, listen, things are different. It's 2026. You know, the nightlife and the club scene has completely changed, but that didn't stop 50 from reacting to these claims. And some people calling this welcome home party an epic failure for Big Meech altogether. Now, moments ago, 50 took to IG to react to these claims made. And in his post, 50 says, "Damn, it's a cold world out here. LOL." All right, now again, that was 50 Cent reacting to people calling Big Meech's welcome home party an epic failure. All right, now remember, all of this started the moment Big Meech was seen hanging out with Rick Ross. Okay, everything that 50 has done for Big Meech and the BMF brand altogether, people looked at this as betrayal. You get what I mean? Putting little Meech through acting school and, you know, seeing him hanging with Rick Ross. Listen, 50 wasn't having it and immediately called out Big Meech and Little Meech. And since then, like I said, the public perception is that things are different when it comes to BMF and his brand altogether. Now, remember when Meech first came home, everybody was celebrating, right? But now you don't see too many posts on Big Meech, Little Meech, or BMF altogether. All right, now, like I said, it's unfortunate because 50 has been active when it comes to his filming studio in Shreveport. You know, he's doing a lot of movies, a lot of shows, and right now Meech could use a 50 Cent in his corner. But again, like I said, this is why it's unfortunate, and this is why people feel like Meech fumbled this opportunity with 50 Cent. But on the flip side, you got 50 still supporting Meech's brother, right? He just promoted the Blowing Money Fast series on Stars, right? So it's obvious 50 has his select when it comes to who he's rocking with and who he's not rocking with. And that in itself is unfortunate because that could potentially cause some issues between Meech and his brother. But like I said, man, a lot has changed ever since 50 has disassociated himself with Meech and the BMF brand altogether. So y'all let me know, man. What are your thoughts on 50 reacting to these claims about Big Meech's welcome home party being an epic failure? Like I said, you know, you had several people take to social media to call out Meech for the lack of money made at this event, considering all of the stories we heard about BMF, you know, throwing money in the club back in the day. Like I said, a lot has changed when it comes to the nightlife and the club scene. And, you know, looking at some of the footage that was on social media, it looked like everyone was enjoying themselves. So for those who, you know, assume that it was millions was going to be thrown at this party, listen, I'm not sure. But like I said, a lot of people took to social media to call out Meech, right? We understand some people could be 50 Cent fans, right? Just kicking Meech back in. But for the most part, like I said, that's the recent news when it comes to Big Meech and the controversy involving this welcome home party. Now, on another note, this is some recent footage of Rick Ross at his birthday party. Okay, I wanted to show y'all this because you see a lot of familiar faces in here. You got French, you got Khaled, you get what I mean? Listen, Max B, like I said, we understand how 50 operates. If you don't think he's seen this video, trust me, he already done put names down on the paper 50 sees everything, but it just goes to show, like, 50 has his select. Certain people he'll allow to get away with certain things, and others, listen, you don't get that same grace. You get what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if this video comes back to, you know what I mean, haunt a couple people, because again, with 50, he's paying attention to everything, like I said. But y'all let me know, man. What are your thoughts on this controversy involving Big Meech and this welcome home party now being called an epic failure? Like I said, do you think people are just, you know, hating on Meech being 50 Cent fans, or do you think they got a valid point considering they were hired to work at this event? Like I said, we heard about the stories of millions being thrown by BMF back in the day in the club, but listen, it's 2026, things are different. And like I said, with 50, you know, without his cosign behind Meech and the brand, you know, it's definitely going to be a challenge for Meech to continue to push forward without that blessing. And I'm not sure what's up with Ross right now, but hopefully, you know, he's going to work with Meech and, you know, help him producing some of these projects, because, you know, he's not 50 Cent, right? 50 earned his buzz working with stars, doing the movies with De Niro, Pacino. You know, 50 put in his rep, right, to earn that stamp of approval. That's why it meant something when 50 stood behind the BMF project altogether. But as of right now, like I said, man, things are looking different for Meech and the BMF brand. So again, let me know your thoughts on everything down in the comment section below. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Again, my name is Sensei Rip. Till next time, peace. Salute world, I need y'all to do me a favor right now and check out the homie Hotep's latest single, Love for Fashion, all right? Available on all streaming platforms. I'm about to bless y'all with a teaser from the video. If you like what you hear, make sure to hit the link in the description, head on over to his YouTube channel, subscribe, like the video, and make sure to tell him Rip sent you, all right? All right, y'all. Peace.
Yeah, but real quick. Rip going sneakers with the real shirt. Oversized slacks, so the jean shorts. Matter of fact, Amiri's go right with the fit. Got a clear pepper, these Cartier frames got tints.